Webheads, comic book fans, this is my top 10 most anticipated comics for May 25th, 2022. Guys, I'm Mike Spider Slayer. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. It's never too early to start that pull list for next week, and hopefully this list helps you make decisions on what comic books to buy. So let's dive into it, guys. Kicking it off with the hot seat. This is a book that I could drop at any time, and the first book is going to be Spider-Man 2099 Exodus issue 1. Now, I remember when I did my top 10 most anticipated before this book came out, it was my number 1 most anticipated. But after reading that issue 0 or alpha issue or whatever you want to call it, that book was just an absolute bore fest. I did not enjoy it. I did not care about a celestial body that crashes into the wastelands outside of Nueva York, and people are going after the power of this celestial. Like, the lead up to that was just very boring. Maybe now it picks up. I mean, we get introduced to the Winter Soldier 2099, so maybe that might make this book more interesting. I think obviously this might be a little bit of a spec book because of this character, but we're going to see how this first issue turns out. If it was as lackluster as that alpha issue, the issue that leads you into this event, then I could actually not pick up this book going forward. This book is 28 pages and this one is $4. What's a book now that's on the rise? Something that you guys that I would recommend to you, and that would be Batman. Batman? There's no such thing as Batmans. There's Batman Beyond the White Knight. This is issue 3. This is a solid series with Batman having to break out of jail. Terry McGinnis getting the Batman Beyond bat suit. The suit is so powerful that Bruce Wayne has to actually try to recover it. We get to see a version of Jack Napier or the Joker in his head, and we learn that, this is a spoiler just to let you know, that we think that Harley and Bruce wound up getting married. Holy shit, did that actually happen? If it did, it happened in between comics and we did not realize that it happened. And in this future issue, it looks like Harley's daughter has gone missing. So there's a lot to unpack here. I think this is a great book. If you have not read it yet, see if you can find issues 1 or 2 on the racks and go ahead and read it. However, to get a good and full experience of this world of Batman, you got to read the original ones, the Batman Beyond or Batman the White Knight. That would be the one to read. This book is 32 pages, $5, well worth the $5 price tag for me. Officially now, kicking off a countdown, at number 10, we have Moon Knight. This is issue 11. So Moon Knight and his allies race against time to save life, while Zodiac puts in motion his plans for his final strike against the Fist of Khonshu. Trapped in an unwinnable battle, Moon Knight must go to the last person he ever wants for aid. Who is that person? Who is the unlikely team up? This book has beautiful artwork. The story is very well told. I think fans are starting to fall in love with Moon Knight through Jed MacKay's run, especially if you've never read a Moon Knight series before. I most recently got this this trade here, so I want to dive into it. This is the Jeff Lemire run, so I want to check that one out and read it. But if you're into this, this is a pretty solid book. This is 28 pages, and this one is $4. Moving on to number 9. We have Devil's Reign Omega issue 1. So just when you thought Devil's Reign was over, no, just kidding, it's not over. Devil's Reign is still going on, and we have the Omega issue. This is obviously the aftermath of Devil's Reign. What's happening with Mayor Kingpin? What's happening with Elektra, Daredevil, Luke Cage? Is he actually going to be mayor? How does Hell's Kitchen recover from everything that happened? So there's a lot of things that are happening in this book. It's a big sized book. It's 52 pages, and this one is $6. So if you read everything that had to do with Devil's Reign, you're going to have to read this one. Coming in at number 8, and this is only a one-shot. This is DC versus Vampires Hunters issue 1. This is a book revolving around Damian Wayne, where in the future he is a vampire hunter. That's pretty badass. If you loved DC Vampire Hunters and you've enjoyed that miniseries, I think you're going to really enjoy this book. I'm looking forward to this one. 32 pages, and this one is $4. Moving on now to number 7, and number 7 goes to Rogue Sun issue 4. I think this book is a little bit underrated. This is like the Radiant Black superhero universe that's going on in Image Comics, and this is a character by the name of Dylan who winds up inheriting this stone that makes him a superhero, and his father is kind of guiding him along the way. Slowly in this series, you're being introduced to Dylan, his father, his half sister, and his half brother, and how everyone wants to take this stone from him, and how they want to be the next Rogue Sun. I think it's a great book. I love getting introduced to this universe. I do think it's a little bit under the radar. Don't pass on this, guys. I think it's awesome. This is 32 pages, $4. I want to know in the comments below how many of you guys are actually reading this book right now. Coming in at number 6, this is a tie between two books because it has to cover the same event. This goes to Deathstroke Incorporated, issue 9, and this also goes to Robin, issue 14. This is the Shadow Wars, part 6 and part 7, and things really start to heat up now in the Shadow War. Based off of the pages of what we just read, I think it was Robin, where we wind up getting to see, again, this is a spoiler in case you haven't read it yet, we wind up getting to see Respawn die, and Deathstroke is beside himself. He doesn't know what to do, and whether he stays dead or not is still yet to be determined, but it shifts the war into overdrive, okay? So you're going to see a lot of stuff here happen. So this is continued from Batman. I'm sorry, not from Robin. It's continued from Batman 123, and then it continues in Batman and Robin issue 14, which is the next book I'm talking about. Robin issue 14. So the Shadow War part 7, we have the Batman Incorporated versus the League of Shadows. We have Deathstroke versus Talia al Ghul. There's a lot going on here in this book, guys, and in this event. This has actually been a solid Batman event. I've really enjoyed it, and I think Joshua Williamson's doing a pretty bang-up job here, keeping everything together and making it quite entertaining, and I definitely recommend it. It's 32 pages, $4. Coming in at number 5. We have The Punisher. This is issue 3. I like The Punisher. You know, I know people are a little bit up in arms about how The Punisher's origin story might be changed a little bit in this run, because basically what set Mark Castle off was the death of his wife and everything that happened, and it was never hinted at in the past that he may have had some anger issues or was, you know, psycho from the beginning, right? And that's what we get. That's what Jason Aaron is unpacking here, or he's deconstructing this character a bit, and I think people are up in arms about it a little bit. I do find it interesting how he's changed it. I'm not going to not read this book anymore because of it. I think it's been an entertaining book. I love how he's been recruited to the Hand to be the leader of the Hand. He's been obviously persuaded because of the resurrection of his wife. So we'll get to see where this all goes to. And I don't know if this is going to be a permanent thing or not. We'll see. We still have a lot of story to unravel here. And does he betray the Hand in the future and kills them all? I don't know. That would be pretty fun, right? And he goes back to the original Frank Castle. We'll see, man. This is 36 pages. This is a $5 comic. Really curious to hear what you guys think of The Punisher. Coming in at number 4 now, we have the Hulk issue 7, Banner of War part 3. As of this recording, I have only read Banner War Part 1, and I thought it was a great introduction to the story. If you've never read Venom, and if you never read... Did I say Venom? If you never read Hulk, and you never read Thor, then in that book, it gave you a little bit of what has been going on with both these characters up until this point. So I appreciate Donny Cates doing what he did there to get you caught up, and then we get into this big ass war. And obviously there's something really going on with Hulk in El Paso, Texas. And we still haven't really learned that as the readers of that Hulk series. But we did learn that there were 17 people murdered and Hulk doesn't remember. So that's why the Avengers and all the others have been after him, because of what happened in El Paso, Texas. So hopefully we get to see that in the future issues of Hulk. But right now, that's why Thor and Hulk are doing battle against each other. Legacy numbering here is 774, continued from Thor issue 25, continued in Thor issue 26, $4 book. Moving on to number 3, this book is starting to heat up again now. This is Something is Killing the Children, issue 23. So Erica now has gone to jail. She's been blamed for this death that happened in, was it Mexico? And she was trying to help this young girl who witnessed her grandparents and I think her mother and her father die. And it was by some crazy creature that had an eyeball in its shoulder. But Erica was investigating the scene, and what happens is she gets blamed for this murder, and now she's going to jail. How is she going to get out of jail? I don't know. We'll find out. But this is a pretty good book. We got introduced to a new house, and the House of Slaughter put a hit on Erica Slaughter to eliminate her. And I think it was called like the House of Cutter or something like that. But it looks like they eliminate people. Great stuff. Definitely recommend Something is Killing the Children. This is a $4 book. Coming in at number 2 now, we have Gunslinger Spawn issue 8. I will recommend this book until the cows fly home, right? My favorite Spawn book by far. I love Gunslinger. I feel like he's a much more relatable character. I love the action. I love the artwork. I love Tom McFarlane's scripts in this book. Everything about this book is great, and I feel like this is the Spawn book that maybe newer Spawn readers could appreciate because it's a good jumping on point, here. And this is present day. A revelation from his past will threaten to destroy his future. And all that Spawn has been trying to do, or Gunslinger here, he's been trying to get back home to his time, I think in the 1800s, and he has not been able to do that. And he's been struggling. Last issue was a lot of fun. He teamed up with Jessica Priest, and you're going to see that in this issue again. So I think issue 7 was a good jumping on point. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, fun book, and it's affordable, guys. $3. Number 1, and you guys might not agree with me here after the first issue of this, but there's still so many questions that need to be answered, and we're just getting started, guys. This is The Amazing Spider-Man issue 2, and this has to do with Mary Jane and Peter Parker. Now, I know maybe you guys are tired of reading this, and we want Mary Jane and Peter back together again. I do too, but at least I got Mary Jane in the comic, and whether they're split up or together, I want to know why. I want to read that story. And this is described as the best couple in comics is done. They've been done for quite a while. You aren't going to believe what is happening in this volume of Amazing Spider-Man. Based off of what happened in issue 1, it looks like she married some dude by the name of Paul. She's got kids that look like they're 4 and 5 years old. Where's the time gone? And how did she get these kids? Why does she hate Peter so much? I would never expect that, right? But there's a lot of questions there, and hopefully we get what has happened to these two in this 6-month plus span that Peter was gone. So again, legacy numbering 896. This is a 28-page comic for $4. So there you guys have it. There are my most anticipated. Looking forward to hearing comments in the comment section below. And of course, guys, I'll leave you more content right here to click on. This is my top 10 comic book covers of the week. You guys can vote on your favorite. And of course, guys, as always, keep buying, keep collecting, but most importantly, always read your comics. Thanks so much, guys.